becoming a mom during the pepperoni pizza era, panoramic era, whatever you want to call it, especially if you're like mid to early 20s, has had to be the most surreal, delusional, gaslighting, insane, crazy experience of like all eternity. And here's why. I was at an age and a time where I would go to my neighbors' houses. I'd make a ton of friends. I had huge house parties. I'd go to the club and dance my cheeks off. Like, it was just a very social era. I literally made cupcakes for my neighbor. I literally would ask my neighbors for help on things. They'd bring me stuff. Like, I'd actually talk to people at the store, outside, just around. Like, that was the time. And also, I could afford life with ease. I had a high quality life, and my job could sustain that. You know what I mean? And even when it didn't, even when it was tough, because you're in your early 20s, it's like not rainbows and sunshine, but I had the social community, and the social experiences to lean on that made it less, blaring. Like, you're broke. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, we're all young and having fun. It is what it is, And there was still hope of like getting it together, and which I did. So then I also got to experience that too, all together. So then I turned 24, right? I'm gonna say we turned 24. So then we turned 24, and then it happens. So this is supposed to still be like prime time of life experiences, but things slow down. So I don't feel like people talk about this enough, but we really did try to make the best of it. Like, we were like, okay, let's do some inner work. I started going to therapy. I started reading again. We're like, yeah, let's do crafts. And I think we still tried to have like get-togethers, but then we're afraid to see our friends. I got the panoramic like 3 or 4 times. So then it just got scary, and it got weird. And it was totally and completely life-altering for all of us. But we did try to make the best out of the situation and learn and do some inner work and the whole nine, right? I think we can agree that we tried to do that. So boom. Then I become preggers with my little one. I'm 24, still navigating the panoramic, moving through that. And now that's 2 life-altering situations happening at once. Oh, and also 2 weeks after I found out I was pregnant, my mom horrifically and tragically passed away. She was, so weird to say out loud. She was out for a walk and she got hit by a car and she passed away. And I never got the chance to tell her that I was expecting. So that was 3 huge life changes. And I suppose I can mention that because a lot of people lost loved ones around that time as well. After becoming a mom and having my baby, one thing that I feel like moms cannot wait for or like need after pouring so much into their child is getting back to themselves, right? But for us, it's a little harder because it's like, what do we get back to? Life as we knew it is gone. It's gone now. Now we're in this like weird, isolated, dysregulated nervous system, overstimulated society, parasocial relationships, and just all types of random, like what the world is now due to what we all went through. So it's like, okay, how do I find myself now? I can't even find my community because there isn't really community anymore, right? And then the icing on the cake for me was when around the time my daughter turned 1, my relationship with her father ended, which was 8 years. I was with him since I was 18, and it ended 1 year after having my daughter. And that was, I guess, my fourth big change. Crazy. So much to go through. And I don't know if it's just like, everything has been within God's will, but yeah. So now I'm really, if you've been in a long-term relationship, it's weird coming out of it, especially if you were in it when you were like a teenager, because your identity is kind of like meshed with that person. So now you're just really at a loss. So if you want to think of the glass half full, everything that I know is done. So now I'm starting from zero, and I lost two of my best friends at that time as well. Not lost, like they're alive and well, but we went our separate ways. So now we could just say I have a clean slate. That's how we're gonna word it. I have a clean slate to start over. How are we supposed to do that in this time? I'm turning 30 this year. I'm turning 30. And you know what's so cool about that? I always thought when I got to this age that I would feel like scared, like 30. But it's like the closer you get to it, you're like, dang, like I'm still young, I'm still me. And also, I guess too, it's weird because a part of our youth got frozen in the panoramic. We didn't get to fully live it out. So I still am very young, I still feel very young, but it's a milestone. And I think what has been the most important to me as of late that's been on my mind that I've been talking to God about is how do I find myself again for my daughter, but most importantly for me? How do I ground myself for myself and for my daughter so my daughter can have a mom that's regulated emotionally and has a community and has an amazing outlook on life? There was a creator that I saw recently, and she said, we need to bring back the whimsy in life. And I was like, that is so true. Because everything became so serious and stressful and pressure because the things that we were taught growing up of how life was going to look and the milestones that we were going to hit and the American dream is like, that's not really it anymore. It doesn't really exist anymore. So that is all serious and stressful enough, and the world isn't doing our kids any favors right now. So who's going to teach them to dance in the rain and be happy and put your head out the window when you're driving and scream songs at the top of your lungs and make friends on a whim? Those things that like natural dopamine rushes, natural serotonin hits or levels, that don't come from an iPad or a cell phone or a computer. you know. Life felt so much better with natural dopamine and not fried low serotonin levels. You know what I mean? And there's some things that I want to do. I don't want this video is more of like just us talking it out. And there's some things that I feel like I want to do to bring back the whimsy into life and to be grounded and to show my daughter how it looks like to show up in the world peaceful and happy, regardless of what's going on in the world, to show up presently without worry or fear, because that's not God's portion for us. Here's some things that I think I want to start doing. 4 things. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to start exploring again. This is something that I feel like was always a part of me, but I want to make sure that my daughter sees me actively doing these things still. And things like trying new things. I want to start dance classes. I want to do I've always wanted to do a ceramics class. I want to knit, try knitting. I saw this really cool thing the other day where they do real life science experiments. I want to try that. I want to take a course at maybe a community college or online course of something that I'm interested in, not something that's gonna get me rich in a week or something that is interest that I'm interested in because I'm interested in it for no other reason than that. I want to start playing board games with my friends again. We still do that, but I want more of that, more hikes, and it's the summer in my house. We love the beach, so we're going to be at the beach a lot, and just stuff that is as far away from the screen as possible. I don't know if this is fortunate or unfortunate for me, but when I look at my phone too long, I get dizzy and nauseous, so that's not the biggest problem for me. And I'm also just so busy. So yeah, those are some things that I want to start doing again, and just the fun things. I was being so serious. I had such a depressing thought the other day. I was in the car and I was having a really good night with my man. We were driving and I was like, I just want to put my head out the window. And I didn't. I felt stuck. Literally, I cannot do it. I'm so serious. I can't put my head out a window while we're driving and feel the wind. That is crazy. 21-year-old me would not have batted an eyelash. My head was through the sunroof. So things like that I want my daughter to see. I want to make her laugh and make her feel surprised. I want her to be scared and still do the thing. That's number 1. So number 2, I want to start spending even more time with friends and family in real life, which is something that I do. So I think more so I want to get into community more. I want to join more social groups of people who meet in real life, even if that's in a Pilates class, or there's book clubs, and because I love to read, there's all types of stuff where you can join people in person, link up, and connect, because community is so imperative to our existence. God did not make us to be alone, and the fact that I live in a building with hundreds of people and I only know 3 names, and 2 of them are my best friends that live upstairs that I've known for years now. And one of them is someone we met last weekend at the pool, actually, so that was cool. But community is so important. That saying, it takes a village to raise a kid, wasn't made for no reason. Because it takes a village. It's helpful for kids to see people living and interacting outside of just what their parents are like, what their parents' beliefs are. You need other adults and humans to help not raise our kids, because yeah, but sometimes, if my kid is acting up a certain way or I need time alone to myself, want to have a community where all the kids are going to Vanessa's house this week and mommies have some time to ourselves, especially since our families tend to be, I don't want to say so broken, but so separate now. Like everyone lives apart from each other. My brother lives in Vegas. A lot of my family, my mom's side, pretty much all my family on my mom's side, they live in North Carolina. I live in California. My sister, one of my sisters lives in like, I think. And then I have another sister, like, actually, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna bleep out. If I bleeped it out, it's because y'all need to know where my sisters live. But we live in different parts of California. Yeah, so I just want to make sure that my daughter is around other people, around kids her age, play dates, bring play dates back, you know, all of those things. I believe that moms would be a whole lot less burnt out if we had community. Just alone, I feel so much better talking to I feel so much better after I talk to my friends about like what's going on in my life, because I can be very like going into a show, I could be very private, I could be very like suffer in silence, and then God tells me, he's like, call XYZ, and then I'll call her and then we'll talk, and then I'll feel that much better. Why? Because he meant for us to have each other to lean on. The world is such a way, and we need each other right now more than ever. So number 3 is fully prioritizing me time, mommy time. So whether that means not optimizing nap time, meaning as soon as the kid goes down to sleep, now I'm cleaning, now I'm making all my calls, now I'm washing, laundry and scrubbing the floors and watering the plants maybe I could take a nap. Maybe I could do my skincare routine. Maybe I could take a bath. Maybe I can read a little bit. Things that pour into me and make me feel like I matter. We have to make sure that we remind ourselves that we matter. Our brains can only process and know, first of all, what we say and what we do. So if we keep saying, oh, I don't have time to take care of myself, I don't have time to get cute, I don't have time to, do my skincare routine, I don't have time to cook a healthy meal, I don't have time, then your brain is like living in this like space of like, dang, I don't matter. And that is a very unhealthy frame of thinking that we should stay very far away from. And I know it sounds random, but being in nature and being active, being in the gym is like wonders for my mental health, but also go put your feet in grass. Like God has created so many beautiful things for us to like experience that naturally help us. Anytime I take my daughter to the park, I take my shoes off and we walk in the grass. And it feels so grounding. Literally, get outside, go to the beach, get in the water. Like, don't care about anything. Girl, mess up your hair, do a cannonball in the pool. Like, just have fun. Just have fun. Speaking of God, number four, which is prioritize a relationship with our Heavenly Father, God. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I honestly wouldn't even care where to begin if I didn't have God. So after the pan pizza, having my daughter, my mom passing, me getting out of a long-term relationship, my besties doing me dirty, I was like, okay, living alone for the first time. What? I didn't know what. And I grew up with God in my life. Thank you. Thank God. Thanks to my mom. She really instilled religion in me. Not even religion, God. A relationship with God. Even though she had her struggles, like yeah. Even though she had her struggles, one thing that she did do was maintain a relationship with God. So I always had that since I was a little girl. When I was 10, me and God were like, it was one of the hardest times of my life. Being a child, dealing with homelessness, abandonment, lack of stability, security, safety. God. I used to cry and beg him to hold me and make me feel loved and held, and he did that. He showed up for me since I was a little girl. And I would go to the place of worship. I would sit outside because my clothes were jacked up. I want to go inside, but I would listen to the word outside, and I would walk like, well, I don't know, maybe 2 miles to the nearest place, and God just really did a thing for me. So after I went through all of that, I locked in with God so heavily, like after the things that I had listed, and I spent time with God every single day. I journaled, I watched sermons constantly, I isolated myself, and I spent time with a few like of the closest people in my life that were just amazing and God approved, in my opinion. So yeah, lean on God. And also one thing that I've really come to realize is intentionally, like anytime I intentionally go after God, he is in step with me, and he shows up and shows out in a way that I can't even, like, I don't even know, I can't even express. The peace and the joy that you can get from God in the darkest of times is actually insane. It's like, and it's limitless and it's priceless. And if you know, you know. So that's my number 4, seek a relationship with God. And intentionally and genuinely, only he can do it. Only he can open your heart and your mind. He's just so good. To want to how can you not want to get to know him, and not just reading the Bible for the sake of seeing what it can do for you, but like for the hope and the love of getting to know God in this beautiful world that he's created and what he intended for it to be and what went wrong. And it's the blueprint, quite literally, of how to navigate and step through life, so yeah, I could truly talk forever. About this, but I digress. Fifth thing and last thing that I'm gonna say, because this video is getting long, take your vitamins. And this is so random, but we are so deficient in a lot of things. And be active, stay active, take your vitamins and stay active. When I am staying active, this is how I know that these two things matter. Around my period, like during my cycle, we go through all the phases. It's an emotional roller coaster, blah, blah, blah. Around my period, I'm emo, I'm depressed, I am like, let's just leave the game, actually, But going after God intentionally and spending time with him, number 1, helps me so much. Number 2, the vitamins thing has had me on the moon. I'm moonwalking on the roof, actually. Like, my mood is just so hype. Like, I'm in that time right now. My period's gonna come any day now. Usually this is like, I'm sad, I'm crying, I don't know what to do. I'm so pessimistic. I'm just like talking so badly to myself. I'm not being nice to myself at all. But I've been so happy, and I've been taking my vitamins consistently for a little over a week now, and I just see the difference. And I've been going crazy in the gym, and I've just been like so happy. I've been so happy, and that's a really hard place to be in when it's that time of the month. So imagine how I feel when it's not this time of month. I feel amazing. I take vitamin D plus like vitamin K, a multivitamin, and there's one other vitamin. I'll put it on the screen right here. Hi. They're doing a tour in my apartments. I wish I could tell these people not to move here, but they'll find out. They'll find out. I cannot wait to move, guys. Anyways, so I take vitamin D, it's plus vitamin K, plus my multivitamin, plus the one that I'll put on the screen right here. Why don't I know? Like, I should know the vitamins I'm taking. But anyways, walking. If you do nothing else, go for walks constantly. It's genuinely such a game changer. It's such a game changer. So yeah, babes, like that's the end of really what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to just have a real talk moment, something that's been on my mind and something that I felt like we needed to hear. I'm turning 30. And I'm actually excited. I think in my 30s is going to be some of the best times of my life, God willing. Despite everything going on in the world, I think that implementing these things are really going to continue to help me to feel even better and get to know who I am becoming, like who I am, who I am now, not who I am pre pepperoni pizza, who I was, before all those things, because I'm not denying that there was a change that I needed. I needed transformation. I needed God to do a new thing in me. But that was really hard for us. That time, especially if we became a mom during that time, that was very hard for us. But we got it. We got it. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys again this time next week. Bye.